Many years ago, something strange happened. A bright object suddenly fell from the sky and crashed on Earth. Inside that object was a baby, completely unharmed. A normal couple discovers the child and decides to take him in and raise him as their own, choosing to keep his origin a secret. At first, everything seems normal, but it doesn't take long before unusual things begin to happen. One day, while the man is carrying the baby, the child suddenly grabs his hand with incredible strength, bending it painfully and even kicking him hard. The man cries out in shock, realizing immediately that this is no ordinary baby. As the child grows older, his powers become more obvious and harder to control. He lifts heavy objects without effort, jumps higher than any normal person. His parents become worried and constantly remind him to hide his abilities, warning him that the world may not accept someone like him. At school, things become even more difficult. Other children notice that he is different, and instead of understanding him, they laugh at him, isolate him, and treat him like an outsider. He struggles to fit in, often holding himself back just to appear normal. These experiences slowly shape his personality, making him quieter, more careful, and afraid of standing out. As the years pass, the boy grows into an adult named Juan. Now he works in a boring office job, surrounded by paperwork, strict routines, and uninteresting coworkers. Despite having incredible powers, his life is completely ordinary and even frustrating. He constantly struggles to control his strength in simple situations, like holding objects or performing small tasks without breaking something. This makes him appear clumsy and awkward to others. At work, he meets a woman named Luisa, who is confident, direct, and very different from him. Juan immediately becomes interested in her, but his awkward personality makes it difficult for him to express himself properly. Their early interactions are filled with small, uncomfortable moments, yet there is a quiet connection forming between them. At this point, if you enjoy simple and clear movie recaps like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next story. Everything begins to change when he discovers something connected to his origin, including a suit that represents who he truly is. Curious and excited, he puts it on and begins to embrace his identity. However, becoming a hero is not as easy as it seems. At first, he makes many mistakes. He struggles to control his movements, misjudges situations, and often causes more chaos while trying to help. Even so, these experiences help him grow. One day, he witnesses a crime happening in the city. Instead of ignoring it, he decides to act. He quickly puts on the suit and chases after the criminal. The chase is fast and messy, but in the end, he manages to stop the thief. It is a small victory, but it marks the beginning of his journey as a hero. As time goes on, Juan continues helping people in secret. He stops minor crimes, assists those in danger, and slowly becomes more comfortable using his powers. At the same time, a larger threat begins to develop. A powerful and ambitious man introduces a dangerous plan that could affect the entire city. Unlike a typical villain, his methods involve manipulation, control, and the use of systems that influence people's behavior. Juan begins to investigate, trying to understand what is really happening behind the scenes. As he gets closer to the truth, the situation becomes more serious. The villain's plan starts to create chaos, putting innocent people at risk. Panic spreads, and the city begins to lose control. Juan realizes that he can no longer hide or pretend to be normal. He must fully accept his role and take responsibility. Wearing his suit, he steps into dangerous situations, facing enemies and trying to stop the growing threat. Along the way, he struggles, gets knocked down, and makes mistakes, but he continues moving forward. During these events, Luisa becomes more involved and begins to suspect that there is more to Juan than he shows. Their relationship develops further as she starts to see his true character, not just his awkward behavior. Eventually, the situation reaches its peak as Juan confronts the villain's plan directly. The city is at risk, and everything depends on him. In the final moments, Juan fights with determination, using both his powers and his intelligence. Instead of relying only on strength, he thinks carefully, making the right decisions at the right time. After a difficult struggle, he manages to stop the plan and expose the villain. The threat is eliminated, and the city is saved. Despite this, Juan does not seek recognition or praise. Instead, he quietly returns to his normal life, choosing to remain unseen. His relationship with Luisa grows stronger, built on trust and understanding. In the end, Juan realizes that being a hero is not about being perfect or powerful, but about making the choice to help others, even when it is difficult. He continues living his everyday life, balancing normal responsibilities with his hidden identity. Though he may appear ordinary to the world, deep down, he knows he is capable of something greater, and when the time comes, he will always be ready to act, not for attention, but because it is the right thing to do. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more movie recaps like this.